Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back once again.
Sunday Night Live.
Be Quest with John.
And I'm John.
And welcome to another Sunday night of,
Intuitive Guidance Q&A.
Yes, intuitive.
Us talking about each other and our week. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So, yes, it's been another interesting week as usual.
It's been a pretty unfolding
transformative week. Yes, much change.
Much change this week.
It's almost left me speechless. The change has happened in the last couple of hours. Actually,
even the last few hours. We've had a heap of energy shifts come through. Lots more stuff. Emotional healing for the two of us all week. Yeah. Past patterns reappearing to be healed and closed out, or new stuff, learning a lot about ourselves.
Indeed. Yes.
Divine feminine energy work for myself.
Yep.
Which has been truly amazing.
Yes.
Lots of new feelings, lots of new energy, which is great.
Another little add-on was a divine child. Being a child seems to have a masculine and feminine side as well.
Yes.
So that was very interesting.
Quite exciting.
So anyone who wants to come on live, you can come on live. We answer questions intuitively. We help guide you to intuitive answers. So if you've got health issues, if you've got recurring issues in your life, so when we ask questions, we just don't do general questions like, what can you see for me?
What can you see for me?
We want to help guide you through your intuition, through your answers. So if the questions can be a little bit more specific, hey, I've got this issue going on.
Yep.
I keep bumping my knee. I've got back pain. I've got shoulder pain. I've got car issues that keep reoccurring, or I keep tripping over on the gutter near work, or something like that.
We had a whole topic on ghosting the other week.
So yes, if you've guys got more specific questions, not just like one-word questions. We want to explore it with you through your intuition.
Yeah, we also we could do dream interpretations as well, symbolically.
We talk about like different triggers for depression. There's about 5 different triggers in Chinese medicine.
Yep.
We can talk about meridians, chakras. So if you feel like you've got a blockage somewhere, you feel you've got a pain, a little bit more specific than one-word questions. So
right knee pain from Petra. What else can you tell us about
Petra,
that?
right knee pain. So generally speaking, the right knee has generally got to do with male or physical material, physical direction. So your knee's about being flexible. So you need some flexibility in your decision making, either around a male or around your physical direction. I'm feeling more intuitively, it feels more like male. Again, it's usually around people. I find that nearly 80% of the issues have got to do with other people in our lives. So there's a situation with the male, usually the closest one to you, Petra, would be father, husband, son, work boss, or something like that.
More material, physical.
And then that's affecting your physical material direction. So you want to choose where you're going, and it might be, say, in career, or moving house, or something more in the physical world more than the spiritual. So you need a little bit of flexibility. You're being inflexible in the way you're seeing it. So allow you, and it's down deeper into the knee. So it's up higher than the foot or ankle. So it's something a bit more closer to the emotions. It's to do with the solar plexus, generally the knee or elbows. So your self-esteem. So whatever this decision is that you need to be more flexible with, be it around a male and around your physical direction, it's tied in closely with your self-esteem. So letting yourself choose what you need to do, and not listening to the male's decision or whatever about a physical direction in your life. It's a little bit, there's quite a few issues around that one. So I'd need a little bit more clarity on what the type of pain is, where it is, front of the knee, back of the knee. A little bit more description there.
Feel free to drop another comment, Petra, and we'll get to you a bit later.
Anyone who wants to come on live and talk it, we can really get through some fast issues. We can deal with subconscious filters, which is quite a strong one. Just lots of different things. So,
all kinds of stuff.
What's that next one?
Melissa, I've had this on and off relationship for a long time now. It was put on hold, I'm guessing recently, due to his issues with the ex. Is there any chance we still have a future?
Yes and no. There is a chance, because there's always a chance. And we are creators. We're not victims. If you're a victim, this is why we get people to come on intuitively, because there is no definitive yes and no's. There's highly probable, and at the moment it's highly probable no, because both parties have to be willing to work on themselves. And I'm just feeling like he's not really wanting to do that.
Yeah.
It feels like he's still in blame mode.
Your inner child is sort of telling me that she would like you to wait for him to make this move or the first move or the next move. Maybe it feels as though you're the one that does all the work in the on again part.
Yeah. So the on again, off again usually tells you that something major is not right, and both people have to work on that. You can keep working on it. You can get a little bit better. But generally speaking, once it's on again, off again, there's a sign there that one or two parties is just not working on themselves enough. And it feels like he doesn't want to work on himself on that owning the responsibility side. He wants to fix it, but doesn't want to own it.
Yeah.
So that's the feeling there that's coming from that. So it can be done, but both parties would have to work on it. And again, that's something where we'd have to talk to you, find some deeper patterns, find some subconscious limits. There you go. It's on again, off again. Sometimes people say it's on again, off again, and that's one point of view, and the other party's point of view is not that. So it's again a little bit more feedback, a little bit more detail. So is that Petra again? What's that?
So Petra's come back saying front of knee and it changes side.
It changes sides.
The pain, as in the pain of the knee.
The front either side.
Yeah.
So this is about moving forward, Petra. So you're not being flexible enough in your direction to move forward, and it feels like you're letting another male, be it your son, your husband, your father, or your boss, or somebody, you're letting their belief or their point of view get in your way. This is why it's changing from the inner to the outer. I'm guessing it's both in the front.
Yeah.
It's changing from the inner, which is your feeling side, to the outer, which is the practical side. And it's really about being flexible, about you going, okay, and that often means being flexible in the positive way, flexible for your own choices, not flexible for theirs. Be flexible in saying, hey, I'm going to be flexible and I'm going to do what I need to do for me. It's about you being more affirmative. That's clearing it as I speak that.
Yeah.
So be flexible with yourself. Maybe you're being too generous towards other people's ideas and beliefs, and that's affecting your self-esteem on the left. And again, the knees or elbows are often related to the solar plexus. So
with those that are posting other comments, try to give us a little bit more information. So Kim, like pain in my neck, maybe give us a little bit more detail of whether the side, what side
which
it
part
is,
of the neck,
what part of the neck it is.
And if you can describe the pain as well, that'll help us nail straight down to
that's a good point. Describe how it feels
sharp,
for you,
dull,
like someone's pressing on me, or it's stabbing in my neck, or
be descriptive.
Pressure. Be as descriptive as you can, because they're generally the words that slip through. And
they're the key words that show us what's in the subconscious, because the subconscious is what's causing the blockage. The subconscious relates to the body relates to the soul, and so this is the body's messages. So that when we have pains and we have problems, the body, the soul is trying to talk to us. And so if we call them messages and we go, okay, I need to listen to this. What are you trying to tell me, and how can I work with your body? Then you get there very quickly if you can get more descriptive on the words. So if you like, anyone that wants to come on can come on live. You don't have to come on video. You can just come on audio. But the link's at the top there, the Zoom link. You click on the Zoom link and you can come on. You can talk to us and we can ask you the questions and narrow it down really fast and cause some really, really big change quite quickly if you find the key trigger points.
Okay.
So...
All right, Tilly, I will call you Tilly. It looks much easier. Thank you. At the end of a work contract with a possible extension, I'm divided on my decision. What do you feel is the right choice? So when I read this, I kind of got really light on my left side. So either that's maybe a change from the material. So maybe is one of them more in line with like a passion that you want to go, or maybe there's a female involved in the side of one of the choices that you've got?
So the division is part of the problem. You're divided. Yeah. So you have to, again, this is something we've been talking to you about, because you've got to change the question. The division is saying there's a yes and a no. So you need to refine the question. You need to come back to the table with another offer. So you need to counter offer whatever their offer is. If they want you to stay, you need to come back and say, yes, I'll stay if I can have this, if I can do that. So if you want to talk with us on live, or if you want to come and get a private reading afterwards, that's fine. We do private readings, guys. So the two of us do a reading for you. For an hour, it's 300. For half an hour, it's 150. So
it's a 2-on-1.
It's it's not a one-on-one reading.
It's not a one-on-one reading. It's a 2-on-1 reading.
So, and we can really get some nail some of these deeper issues. Like some of the readings we've done for people, the few points we brought up, they've spent weeks or months working on these points, and it's really causing shifts in their lives. So, yeah, and if anyone wants to come on now, you can get like 5-10 minutes free.
Yeah.
You can come on video or audio. Just click the Zoom link at the top. So what else have we got
here? What do we got here? Nikki, my 12-year-old son is having sharp migraines that last for 48 hours ever since he was a toddler. It's every 3 months to the day. So bad that he vomits.
Yeah. Well, they can. I used to get them when I was younger too. And generally speaking, headaches and especially migraines, he's holding on to old limitations. Now, if it's at the back of the head, he's holding on to old limitations about the past, so he's getting fears come up, and these are subconscious. They're going to trigger automatically. So really have to look at what's happening the day or so before. So if there'll be a pattern in the family, maybe someone coming to visit, or if you're separated, might be going when he's going to his dad's house, or school exams coming up, something like this. There'll be some sort of stress factor, and then he's holding on to the old limitations. So it's like, if it's the front of the head, he's holding on to old limitations about not being able to move forward where he wants to go. But again, this is something where I'd have to really sort of find what the core issue is.
Yeah.
There is an issue of holding on here. There's a holding on to old limitations, and migraines, that they will just compound the situation, and it makes the situation that you're holding on feel like it's true. So that's why it gets so bad, and it can last for 48 hours and stuff, because the pain actually makes you think that whatever you're thinking is true, when it's actually trying to tell you that whatever you're thinking is false. So it's the fear from the old limitations. So
yeah, it's definitely fear-based. All I'm getting is I'm scared from his inner child. And
it's different patterns, because it comes up every 3 months, which is roughly what mine used to come up. And it's usually there's for different months, we work through different parts. We work through our masculine, our feminine, our inner child in each month. So it'll be a masculine or a feminine or an inner child issue, the fact that it's coming up every 3 months. And you would have to work through that by finding out what it is that's coming up. Like, there's a pattern. It's a fear-based pattern.
For me, it kind of feels like there's something he needs to let go of. But if he does, he's not sure who he is when he lets go of it. I know that sounds really strange because he's only 12, but it feels as though there's something, for me anyway, there's something that he needs to let go of, but he's scared to let go of it, because if he does, he's like, well, who am I going to be after that?
Yeah.
If that relates in any way.
It's a fear. It's holding on to the old limitations of, this is who I am. That's who I've got to do this.
Yeah.
And you got to catch and say, look, whatever it is, just try and get him next time. If it's happening now, try and get him to say, look, I don't know what I'm scared of. I don't know what I'm holding on to, but I'm going to try and let it go. All he has to say is that I'm going to do everything I can to let this fear go. I know I'm scared of something and I'm not sure what it is, or I'll tell you what's the name?
It's Nikki.
Nikki. When it's happening next time, give us a call. I'll give you a 10-minute free one, Nikki, and I can help try and pinpoint what it is he's holding on to, because it's the fear coming up. He's worried about something. If he will talk, he can. We can talk over the phone or whatever. PM us, and I definitely could help find that trigger. And migraines especially, because I know that I've had them enough times throughout my life. It's a really holding on to old limitations.
Okay.
And they're subconscious, so they're really hard to pinpoint, and you've got to talk through them a little bit. Okay.
Alrighty. Kay, hi guys. Love some guidance on what is holding me back from going for what I want in life. Don't seem to be able to commit to doing work, taking the actions to achieve what I wish for myself in life. Lots of wishing going on, not very much action towards creating the life I want.
Yeah. It's basically you're in your head too much. Got to get down into the heart. The heart's where they're getting a certain amount of awareness down into the heart. The not being able to commit is also a fear. Like, because when we get into our heart space, when we really get into, especially the heart of hearts, the first thing it's going to do is take you straight to your fears. So the part you can't commit, because if you go into your heart and you bring the energy into there, it's going to tell you to get rid of the shit. If there's people in your life that are holding you back, if there's career, it's going to say, okay, leave that now, do this now. And it's your heart telling you. So it's going to be good, but your heart has no fear. None of our hearts have fear. A true heart is completely fearless. So when we get into what I call heart living, what some of the first things to do, if you start asking your heart or asking yourself through the heart, say, heart, what do I want to wear? It's going to make you wear clothes that you never want to wear, that make you feel upset, like make you feel embarrassed or ashamed or whatever. It's like your heart just will take you straight to those things that you're feared of. And so now you're getting into this pattern of overthinking it, and you're going back and you're second guessing yourself all the time, because You know what to do, but you're scared of doing it.
Yeah, and for me as well, I mean, I was a little bit like that, or previous me was a little bit like that. I had to let more of my masculine energy out. You know, I felt for me, my masculine energy was the one that was not following through on the actions.
So what's holding you back is you. It's fear. Fear is the same thing that always holds us back. All of this stuff comes down to everything we do comes down to two choices. Faith, I call it faith and fear. We've got a video on YouTube of that. Following your faith or following your fear. Is fear your God or is faith your God? You can call it love and fear if you want. You can call it whatever two words you want to use. It doesn't really matter what the words are. But following your faith, it's a little bit scary at first. And that's what's holding you back, is not wanting to do it. And you've probably got programs in there. You've got things, I've done that before and this happened. You didn't do it before. A previous version of you did it. So often that's true about the past. It's true that it fucked up before, but it's not going to fuck up this time because you're not the same person that you were. So if you do now, if you had to do now some of the things you did before that you made a mistake on, you wouldn't make those mistakes now because you've got more courage, you got more wisdom, you got more understanding. So it just because it happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again, because you're a different person. And that's the one you've got to talk yourself through. Again, this is one where I need to ask you a few more questions and feedback here. So anyone who wants to come on live, the Zoom link is at the top there, guys. You can come on audio or video for a couple of minutes, 5-10 minutes, and we can ask you some questions, get some feedback, and we can get through some of these really big issues really quick. It's quite fun. It's a lot of it's joking around to see what the subconscious blockages are. It's not intense. But when you see the blockage,
we're not that scary.
When you see the blockage, the hard part is to actually go, okay, be willing to deal with it. And when you see the blockage and when you're willing to deal with it, half the time you don't have to.
That's right.
The beauty of this.
It is truly amazing. And that's been happening all week for us.
It's like you go, okay, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to face this issue. I can now see this issue. I'm willing to face it. If I need to say something to somebody or I need to make this move, I'm willing to make the move. And just by saying I'm willing to do it, often the situation clears itself without doing it.
Awesome.
So
okay, coming up back to I'm just going to call you Jane. Hello, Jane. I have a tightness in my neck, right shoulder, mid-thoracic. No pain, just a lot of tightness. What does tightness mean? Also, my lower back is tight all the time, like I want to stretch it out.
Yeah. So the lower back has got to do with your feelings, following your feelings, and the right side is generally the masculine. So this is the, pulling up the courage and that. So you're really stiff and you're over controlling on the masculine side, maybe because you're listening to a male too much.
She just said she's come out of a very long toxic relationship that is now over.
Yeah.
Which she kept feeling was more of a past like karmic thing.
Yeah. Well, it probably was. Most relationships are. Most families are. And
they're fucking everywhere.
Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime they happen. So, so the fact is, maybe you needed to discipline yourself to get out of that relationship. So this is what I'm feeling, this tightness in the shoulder. So your arms are about your daily actions, your daily habits, your rituals, all of that sort of thing. And the stiffness is there because you had to get out of the relationship, you had to get really stiff and force yourself and use that masculine. So you really had to hold it. And now you're still in that pattern of holding it when you're actually out of the relationship.
Yeah.
So now you got to loosen up on that. Not with the males.
Hence the stretching.
And it's like, not with the males, with yourself. Loosen up with your masculine in you, directing your life. Saying, okay, now I need to do this. Now I need to get rid of these other toxic things out of my life. This is what the masculine side, that connecting with the heart, does. The divine feminine guides, and it tells us where to go, and the masculine tells us how to do it, what steps to take, what actions. Like, it gives us the courage. So this is that right side, that stiffness, and it's about the lower back stiffness is not following your feelings enough. The lower back is a lot related to the navel and the inner child, and that if you don't follow your feelings, that'll get really stiff. It's like, and it's the little feelings like, hey, have a day off, or hey, tell that person to shut up and stop complaining to me, or anything like that. It's like, just go and have a day off and go to the beach. Your feelings will tell you in the moment what it wants to do, not the long run. So
Tilly's come back saying, I'm thinking it's probably about changing careers rather than just a job. This is what we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
I'm training something people in need. She's doing a training certificate, people in need. I don't feel it is helping them progress in life much. I feel unnecessary and useless.
Yeah, well, look, the people in need, the general training they do is not helping them progress in life. It's a coping mechanism. They train you to teach people to put up with what they got, not to fix it. Like these issues, the way we're talking about here is the issues come up to either acknowledge them as a strength. So like with my youngest daughter, she's got what most people class a disability. I call it an ability she's got. She has the ability to read energy in that. Most people think she's oh, poor Mercy. They say poor Mercy. It's like, she's laughing. She does whatever she wants. She doesn't have to do she'll just tell everyone. She bosses everyone around, and her soul is free because of that. And she's learning her intuition, and she nails things like nobody believes. I've had an ex that had an autistic son, the same thing. These are abilities. They're not disabilities. And if we're treating people and treating them as disabilities, that's why it's not helping them. So I don't know how maybe you can train in that and also train alternatively and help those people, or maybe just move out of helping people.
Yeah, for me, I don't know whether it's a guide or not, but someone's saying, it feels like they're saying, I should say, neither of these two jobs are for you, and that you need to go within and ask yourself what you actually love to do. And
the greatest help you can do is to be the healthiest, happiest person you can be, to set the example, be the change, as we say. To be the change means to set people free, you have to set yourself free. And to set yourself free, you've got to get away from all of these rules and that. It doesn't mean not to be disciplined. It doesn't mean not to have healthy disciplines. It just means not to have rules, fixed points of view. And so you can just, your presence automatically liberates others, you know. So when you free yourself, your presence works for them.
Yeah.
So, and I'm the same as John. It's just saying neither of those choices. You got to choose. Take a whole new path. A whole new path
is what I keep getting. I'm jumping a spiritual path, but that's my bias, and that's my first jump to, which tells me that it's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
But
it's the middle path in between those two paths.
There's some other thing that you could be doing. That you love doing.
Do what you love to do, and that will help people spiritually. You know, the greatest spiritual thing you can do is just be happy and smile. The more smiles there are in the world, the less fear there's going to be, and fear is the only problem in the world. So whatever makes you smile, go for that.
All right, Tracy, I got the flu for the first time in a decade. Never had the flu needle. Not sure what it means for me, but it's unusual. Do you see any meaning towards it? I thought you liked this one, John.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but it hit me on Wednesday too, and it nailed the crap out of me. And I used all the techniques. I got the Manuka honey and everything, and this one was very different. And in Melbourne, we actually saw an ad that it killed one of the kids here. The 13-year-old died of it and stuff like that. And it's a very different flu, this one. But generally speaking, it's for the body to get rid of stuff anyway. So any flu is the basic message. The cold, the flu is for you to give time to you. So it really helped me dig out some really old, deep stuff as well. And I worked with it, and it's really helped some major transformation in me. But don't class it all as that. You know, sometimes you got to deal with the physical side of it too. But the immune system, when it's strong enough, using things like Manuka honey and that, I do not advocate any of the medications, but I do not advocate dying either if you're going to get to that stage. so like, I'm not saying don't go to your doctor and everything else. If it's really bad, go. As I said, we just saw one in the newspaper where one of them didn't go for 3 days and she died, the poor child. And, you know, but the flu is that thing that the body's getting rid of some deep stuff. And this flu is, you know, without going into the whole conspiracy theory thing, this one's a bit weird. I don't generally go down that road at all anymore these days. But it was very fucking weird, this one, because I've had a number of them, like not for a few years now, but the feeling and the stuff that I had to do a lot of energy work on myself to get through this one. But it helped cleanse, it helped really dig into some deep old issues, and it helped me to surrender and let go and start really getting on with my path. It's like no more messing around. So
left shoulder, who's coming on?
Who were you just reading then?
I was just reading Leanna. Okay. I have blocked ears and fuzzy ringing constantly, both ears getting worse each day. I'm asking what it is. I'm not hearing. Working on here. I'm asking what it is and I'm not hearing it. Yeah, that's funny. Working on healing them, but no change.
So one of the things that ringing in the ears is, before you go to not listening, because you've got it in both ears, there is the false Akash. So the Akashic records is is the records of all of your lives, the records of your soul, whatever you want to call it. And when we get this ringing, we get a feeling of what we're here, what we're doing, or we get a feeling, and then we think that's part of our cache, and this is not consciously at all.
Yeah.
So one of the things we do is say, is that the falser cache? Is there a falser cache that like is recorded like bad and karma and all? See, karma is a falser cache.
Yeah.
Karma, there is no real karma. Karma is created by us. We can create karma, but it's not created by God or the universe. So, that one just burnt.
There it is.
Oh, you tried to swallow that one down, but that's not yours. Don't swallow it down. It's like the falser cache is not yours. So ask yourself, is that the falser cache? And if the ringing gets less when you ask, is it the falser cache? So get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
Or fucking, no, I'm not buying into that, and let go of it. And then repeat it. We both had this last year for a couple of months on and off.
So when you come back in through the reincarnation, or you come back with your soul goes back into another body and whatnot, all that Akash that you've had from previous lives is still there, right? You still tap into it subconsciously and so forth. And so what we found anyway with the ringing in our ears, a lot of that wasn't the true us, or a lot of it was put in there through fear-based decisions or beliefs that we had in previous lives that were just truly incorrect. They weren't faith-based, they weren't love-based, and they can come back and taint, I guess, your experience in this life.
Or the other one I just got there, is that Tracy? Yeah. So the other thing is Tracy.
Leanne.
Oh, sorry, Leanne. So the other thing you said is, what am I not listening to? Ask the opposite question. If that question doesn't work, ask the opposite. Say, am I listening and I think I'm not listening? Is this something I'm listening to and actually hearing, but I think I'm not? And if that'll dissipate the ringing instantly. As soon as you hit the right answer, the ringing will dissipate. It won't necessarily go completely away, but it'll get less loud. And then you repeat it. It's this, so I am listening and I think I'm not. Oh, there goes some more. Oh, is that some of the false cache that I think I've done something wrong and I haven't?
Yeah.
Oh, there goes some more. You don't want to swallow this stuff. You don't want to swallow this stuff, do you? It's like, wow, this is really hard for you to swallow. That's twice. It's like a spirit's jumping down my throat. It's just like, it's like, don't swallow the fear. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's all this bullshit fear that you've got, that you're not listening, that you've done something wrong and everything else. That's all shit.
It's all bullshit.
But when I say it's shit, I don't mean it's not real. We make it real. We absolutely make it real, but it doesn't have to be. It's the real.
It's putting faith in fear, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. At some point, we've put faith in a fear, and that fear is just sticking around in your Akash, and it's coming back. But you have the opportunity to become aware of it, become conscious of it, and just go, is that what that is? Okay. Fuck off. I'm not dealing with that anymore.
There's no two powers. There's not, there's not evil and good. There's just one power in the universe. There's one force. It can be used for evil. Man can create it and use it for evil if he wants to, but it's just one power. It's benevolent. It doesn't have any concept of itself on itself of being good or bad or right. There is a balance. There's always a balance. There's yin and yang, but that's not good and evil. And it's like, we can create evil. We can use that force and that power, but it's a false power, and it has no real power if you don't buy into it. So if you take yourself away from the fear, it cannot touch you. It's not as easy as doing that sometimes, but it's as easy as understanding that. So it's stuff you're trying to swallow, it's stuff you're trying to take in that's just not yours.
Yeah.
So ask yourself, am I thinking I'm not listening? Am I thinking I'm not hearing and I am? Or there it is. Or is some other people telling me I'm not hearing, or I'm not hearing things and I am hearing it, but it's them that they're talking about themselves. So the people that are telling you stuff that you think you're not hearing, it's their message that they're telling you is for themselves, not for you. Okay.
All right. Thanks for the thank yous, guys, from Nikki and from Kay. We appreciate the feedback.
So we've got anyone who wants to come on live on a Zoom. We can put people on for 10 minutes. You can come on just audio. You don't have to come on video.
Yeah. Even if you're in your jammies.
We can talk through and get through some filters. The filters are really good. We have all these fixed words, these fixed points of view that we think are, that we create in our subconscious mind. We don't necessarily believe them.
That's a good example.
But they're creating blockages in our life. And so we listen to words and we have a joke around with people to find out what they are.
Yeah, I apologize if I get the name wrong. Waiora, I hope that's how I pronounce it. My big problem is weight. Whole body, tried diets, etc., not working. What is the block causing this?
The fact that you say it's a big problem.
My big problem.
So that's the subconscious hears that, right? So it's making that your big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take that fixed point of view away, which is my big problem. It seemed, and put a non-fixed word in front of it. So it seems like, or it appears to be, my big problem is weight. And the other part about it is, again, there is some, let's talk some of the physical stuff. So when your glands are blocked, when there's not enough cleansing, there is a certain amount of cleansing and getting rid of like fluoride and bad water and chemicals and stuff out of the system. There is a cleansing part, but there's so many other people who will talk about that. The other part is you're telling yourself you haven't got enough. This is nearly all weight problems. People saying, I haven't got enough time, or I haven't got enough space. And I'm not saying you're saying this in your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's more of a feeling. It's a constant, there it goes again. This information is not wanting to be swallowed by a lot of people. And it's like, so you're telling yourself, I haven't got enough time, or I haven't got enough space, or I haven't got enough energy, or I haven't got enough money.
Yeah.
And all the subconscious mind hears, which the subconscious mind controls the body. Subconscious mind relates to the navel chakra, the inner child, and it controls the body. So everything that's said, felt, or emotion, especially if there's an emotion about it, oh, I just don't get enough of this. I just don't, and it's more of an emotional feeling. Then the body starts holding on. It holds on to everything. It'll hold on to fluid, and this is why people. I've done it with many people. I've watched them drop 5 kilos in a day, or sometimes in minutes. Once they find what it is that they're saying, and just changes it. It appears like I don't have enough money, or it seems like I don't have enough time. It seems like I don't have enough space. A lot of it has to do with space. People go, oh, I'm just getting bombarded. Everyone's fucking on my back all the time.
And these things may started out as words and thoughts, right? A long time back, but because we have a tendency of repeating these things, let's just say it's time and enough time and enough time, you get to a point where you start to, competently just in the back of the background, it's just going, your feelings and your emotions just going, oh, I haven't got time, I haven't got enough time.
So I would say yours feels more like space. I don't have enough space. I'm guessing you got a big family, or you've got a lot of people around you, whether it's family or work, and they're all demanding your time, your energy and stuff like that. So you don't have enough time and space for you. It's like, there's so many people demanding on you, or there's so many things, work or something's demanding of you all the time. So start saying, I've got enough time. I've got enough space. I've got enough space for me. I'm getting more and more space every day. It feels like I haven't got enough space, but I'm getting more space. And sometimes I've got the space. Sometimes I've got the time. And that will change it very quickly. And you can do this in the moment. And if it's lower weight problem around the belly, this is about not following your feelings. You can do, there's a really good one that I love to do in the mirror in the morning. It's like, if I get up and I feel a bit bloated around the tummy area, that means that I'm not following my feelings. So I visualize with my eyes open. I imagine myself doing something that, one of the things I used to love was doing somersaults into the pool and stuff like that, backflips and all that, or running down the beach and somersaulting off the wall under the sand. So I stand there and I intensely imagine myself doing it while I'm in the mirror, and I feel myself doing those somersaults and running and jumping, and the swelling goes down in front of my eyes. It's just amazing. It is a fucking amazing technique. Yeah. You can try it. You can try it right now, just while you're sitting there. If more of it is around that belly area.
This is to any of you out there, right?
I'm talking to everyone. Just try it now. If you're feeling a little bit of bloating around the stomach, just really imagine yourself, use your imagination and really imagine and feel yourself running and doing cartwheels or whatever it is that you like to do.
Skipping, drawing, swimming, whatever it is that you absolutely love to do, that you think that you don't have the time or the money or the this or the that to do.
Just visualize
into your imagination and visualize yourself
visualize and visualize it so intensely that you can almost feel yourself doing it, right? And you'll feel your body change shape right in front of your face. It's freaking amazing. This is the course we're about, the conscious body shaping.
It is life-changing.
It's just amazing. And when you do that, and then that'll start to trigger all the other ones. But yes, the weight issues is often about subconsciously picking up, I haven't got enough.
Here's another one. Mandy, I feel no direction in my life at the moment. And my statement back to you is that such a bad thing?
Yeah.
Everyone is always in a rush to get to the next thing or to think they need to go somewhere. We've actually learned quite a lot in the past year and a half that at times that is actually the best part of your life is
Mhm.
not having the direction
Yeah.
because
JOMO.
yeah, it's JOMO. It's the joy of missing out. You actually get time to yourself. You get time to reflect inwards. You get time, fuck off you. This is why I want to answer this
I
one.
know.
It is so fucking true about
Yeah.
what we've done for the last year and a half. It's,
We're two social characters and we love to go out and party. And we stopped last year and
Yep.
because of that same
That
thing, we
same
felt
reason.
and we just started working on this and we just stayed home all the time. And we used to go out when we could feel it, like especially on the weekends, because we lived in a small town at the time and we could feel everyone going out because we could see them from our veranda. And we had the fear, they call it FOMO, right? The young people call it FOMO, the fear of missing out. And we would identify that fear. And then we go, actually, I don't really want to go out. I'm having so much more fun doing this. I know there's a part of me that wants to, but I don't really want to. So we started calling it JOMO, the joy of missing out.
The joy of missing out.
The joy of not going out and partying because we were working on ourselves. So, and also the other thing I was going to say with that one of the things is you never make a decision about a direction when you're in a lack mentality, when you're in a I don't know mentality. So when you get that mentality, I don't know, that's the time not to make a decision. Sit in your stillness. Try and get into the stillness as much as possible. Sit with it and do not make a decision on where to go or what to do, whether it's about anything, money, until you're at least at a neutral point of view. If you're in need, if you're in want, if you're in lack of any type, don't make a decision. Just go, no, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to breathe. I'm just going to breathe until an inspiration, like what do they call it? A impulse or
a hunch.
A hunch is the one word. So just stop and go, I'm not making any decisions now. I'm not going to make a decision until I just get this weird hunch inside. And then, because that comes from the calm space, that comes from the still space. There's a stillness. And then in that stillness, we get a flash of what we're supposed to do. All the big pictures and that, they're not really good for most people because you don't get the big pictures until you're really used to getting the subtle ones.
And we have this mantra that we say, which is just hold, hold, hold. When we're in that situation, and we can't make a choice, and it kind of feels like we shouldn't be making choices. We'll just sit there and just go hold.
So
hold.
When there's no direction in your life, the direction is inside. You need to work on the inside. Get rid of the imbalances. Get rid of not being in your heart and not being in your feelings enough. Start practicing breathing. Just go, okay, I'm just going to breathe. I'm just going to breathe as much as possible. I'm just going to get into my body as much as possible. And then the more I do that, the sooner I do that, the sooner a direction will open up and I'll just know. But making decisions when you're in an indecisive thing is just crazy.
It's the fucking worst thing that you can do ever. So what's coming up this week, John?
So this week, we got... I don't know what to go there. Well, this seems to be where we were through the week. Because I'm looking at all the questions here, and so many people are stuck with direction. It's like the direction's got to be guided from intuitive. It's got to be inside. All the answers to every problem for all of us is inside of us. God is inside of us. The universe is inside of us. So the answers is about looking inside and don't make a direction. Don't make a decision on your direction until you've got that stableness and that stability inside. This is part of the reason why I got the flu earlier in the week, and it made me stop and it made me go further and further inside. And it's like, I am doing the right thing. I am in the right direction. I just need to finish cleansing. I need to finish going through this purging that I'm going through, internal purging. We've only just moved to Melbourne 2 months ago. It's a massive move.
That's what I was going to say. You know, as my guides, our guides keep telling us, give yourselves a fucking break. You know? Pat yourself on the back. Take some time out.
So
just relax.
Your mojo's gone. Often your mojo's gone because somebody else mentioned their mojo. That's because it's not time to use it. It's not time, or you're in the wrong place and you're not willing to make the move. Often we've got the right energy and we've got the right focus, like we had, but we're on the Central Coast. Now, I got that message a year ago, but if we had jumped the gun and moved then, we would have ended up in the wrong place. So I said, okay, I'll move when the time's right. Give us the timing. But in the meantime, while I'm not moving, I will work on me and I'll clear everything I can before I move, so I don't take it all with me. So I have to clear it when I get there.
You know, it's so interesting. People are really good at reading messages, like these. I don't know what to do. I don't have any direction. I've lost my mojo.
Yeah.
The message is don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And everyone's reading it seems, right?
Yeah.
From tonight, you know, but when things are going great, you just ignore all the messages because you think your life's going the way you think it wants, you know, where you think it wants to go. But it's times like these, just, it's okay.
it's like,
Don't beat yourself up. Have a break. If you don't
working
know,
on yourself, you're working on enlightenment. Enlightenment, it's not a small measure. You know, this often the job is to sit there and let go, to sit there in the silence for a little bit and just wait. And then the intellect comes in, the ego, whatever you want to call it. It jumps in and goes, oh, but you know, this and that, and it's like, and then you jump and you take the second best. You won't go for the best. You'll take the second best, and then you just keep stalling it. You just keep dragging it out. It's like, this is a big message that we've been getting a lot lately. We've seen so many times in our lives where we just didn't want to wait that extra day or that extra week or that extra month. And we go, oh, well, we'll take this offer, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whatever. You go, oh, look, it feels like the other one's not coming. This will do. This is close enough.
How many times have you done that?
For a little bit longer. You know, it's darkest just before the dawn. This is the message of the week, and this is the one that we're getting over and over. And by most of these messages over here, the message of this week is it's darkest or it's coldest just before the dawn, right? If you've ever camped out all night and you didn't take enough blankets with you like I used to, being a big tough man, and you get to 5 a.m. and you're like, I can't handle it anymore. I'm going to die. I'm going to freeze from the inside out. And then the sun breaks. You're like, and then it's all gone. And then it feels like nothing. But that hour between 5 and 6 before the sun break, you literally feel like you're going to die. You know? So a lot of this stuff where you feel like ask yourself the question, say, do I just got to hold a bit longer? Is this the darkness before the dawn? Is this where I've just got to hold? I've just got to stay a little bit longer. Check that, and it'll feel lighter. Yeah. And then you'll get you'll chuck an internal temper tantrum like I normally do. You go, fuck, I don't want to wait any longer. I've fucking waited for fucking 10 years. It's like, but use the techniques. We've got the videos on YouTube. Go and check them out. Check them with your inner guru. If it feels light, so when you ask these questions, does it feel a little bit lighter? Do I have to wait a bit longer? Is this the darkness before the dawn? Okay, that feels light. That makes me feel lighter. That makes me sit up and expand. Okay, this is. So I've got to wait a bit longer. Yeah, how long? I don't know. Can't tell you. Fuck off. I want to know how long. But you just got to keep checking and keep checking. Yeah. In the meantime, if it is that, it's time to work internally. It's time to get rid of the shit so when the dawn comes, you're not carrying any shit that you have to fucking clean up when the dawn comes. So
Adrian's got a comment here. So my intuition is telling me my life can go in two different directions and now decide. I'd question if that's your intuition telling you that at all, because your intuition is giving you two options and then telling you to choose. That doesn't really sound like your intuition.
No, that sounds like, so when we talk about our intellect or our ego, well, it's not one intellect, it's not one ego, there's multiples. So if it's like, I don't know if it's this me or this me, which one? It's like, what do you mean this me or this me? It's like, who's the one asking? Is it that me or that me? There's a third party here, the one asking the question.
Yeah.
The two different directions, maybe it's neither of them.
Yeah.
You're the one in the middle. The real you, the real self, is the one in the middle, seeing those two. That's all the different intellects or all the different egos trying to put in their two bobs worth. So maybe it's neither of those directions. Check with your intuition. And how do you check with your intuition? It feels light. That's enlightenment. If it feels light, if it makes you feel more expansive, if it takes away some of the pain or the fear, if it reduces the fear or it reduces the pain, that's your intuition talking. That's your intuition. That's being taught from inside. Intuition, being your inner, you're being taught from by yourself. And so won't necessarily take it away completely, but it'll feel less pressure. It'll feel less fear. It'll feel less pain. And that tells you you're on the right track. So, okay, it's neither of those, or it's both of those, but it's something else. So if you are getting two different directions, maybe they're both half right, which means you've got half an answer out of each. And there's actually a third answer, which will incorporate both. Indeed. So check that one.
Indeed.
Is that Adrian?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So, all right. Any more?
Mandy, come to Melbourne. It's so beautiful here. She said her dreams are to move to Melbourne hopefully soon.
We just got one of our other people that was on last week that had a bit of a reading from us. She's moving to Melbourne soon from WA. So we had a bit of a talk about the same thing. I said, don't deny a hunch. If you get a hunch, just say yes. Just say yes to the universe. If you get a hunch, go, I think I should do this, but I don't know why. Okay, I agree to do it, universe. Show me. Give me another sign. Don't jump straight away and do it and just like
Hold.
throw the baby into the bathwater.
Hold.
Just say, I agree to.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, but give me another sign. Show me. Give me the signs. I'll agree to do it, but give me more signs. Ask for more signs. Get confirmation signs, because if it is the universe will give you 10 signs if you need it. If it's not, if it's the intellect, they'll change.
They'll tell you to decide between two choices. Nikki, 1111 here. I keep seeing paired numbers. What I find with paired numbers sometimes, and it's not all the times, but just be aware of where you are, like in your surroundings, what you can see, where you see it, even if it's on a clock on a wall or in a car or a number plate, what you were thinking at the time. Sometimes those things can
And the other thing is quite often paired numbers, when you get it like that, 11, 11, 12, 12, or whatever they are, that's just your intuition telling you that you are the synchronicity. It's about synchronicity. Life is about synchronicity. It's like choosing the right thing at the right time. It's telling you are synchronistic. You're a synchronistic being. You're in co-creation with the universe. You're a co-creator. And that's sometimes all it is. You can read into the numbers, like if it's 1111, there's a lot. 11's a master number and 1's about the self. So there's a lot of stuff going on about yourself. You need to focus on yourself. You need to learn on self-mastery. You can look at the numbers if you want, but that'll be 1111 every time. But if you're getting just paired numbers and synchronistic numbers, just accept the fact that, hey, your intuition's on the ball. You're a synchronized being, and you're actually quite synchronized.
and it can just be those little confirmations from spirit, right?
Yeah.
That's
it's
it.
just spirit
Nothing
confirming that you're intuitive and things are working. Life's not random. Life is actually synchronistic. So, okay, what do we got now?
Gabby's asking an integrative health GP. What are our thoughts on one of those? I'm seeing one, but wondering if I should go to a naturopath soon.
I like the integrative health GPs, and I had a big thing. Previous meetings had a big thing about the GPs, and I love the fact that they're now starting to do this more, because they'll even admit it. I've asked doctors, they're only trained. The universities are paid by the big companies, and they're only trained on medicine that has chemical drugs for solutions. So they don't have any training on the natural side of things, but at least they're open to it now. And so a good integrative health GP will tell you to do things like meditation and stuff like that. They'll tell you to seek that out. But I always say, go with your intuition.
Yeah.
Just which one feels lighter. Go with both. Why see one or the other?
Yep.
And again, the different naturopaths, again, does it feel light? Just use your intuition. Go, does that feel light? Does that make me sit up? Does that make me smile? If you're listening to your heart, you want to know when you're listening to your heart, just feel your mouth. Watch your face. Just sit in front of the mirror. Go, is that you, heart? And the corner of your mouth will smile. The lips will go up.
And remember also that these are beings having a human being experience. They have intuition too.
Yeah.
And they could very well be using their intuition while they treat you, right?
Yeah.
It's not just
like I asked even a couple of integrative GPs, a couple of naturopaths. I had this excessive burping issue for 15 years, right? And I've asked many of them. I had one doctor tell me there's nothing you can do about it. Just put up with it, right? I just found out all it was bloody lactose intolerance.
Do you know what Pyrrols is?
I'll get to that. I found out it was like lactose intolerance. And why couldn't a GP should have picked that up? I asked 4 of them, and I asked many others, and no one even went down that road. I was just lucky I stumbled across it and I listened to my intuition. Because I accidentally bought a lactose-free milk. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? So-called.
I come home and the fucking fridge is full of lactose-free milk. I'm like, what the fuck, Gus? I don't drink lactose-free milk.
I was like, I just, stumbled across it accidentally, apparently, because I wasn't paying attention that day, and my intuition could grab it when I wasn't looking. And so, sometimes they just don't know, it's like that. This is why we do listen to our intuition. It's like, oh, that doesn't make sense. How do you know our favorite saying? How do you know when your intuition's speaking? You go, oh, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be my intuition.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
It's like, if you go, oh, that doesn't seem right. If you use the word doesn't seem right, the word seem is telling you that it's right. That's your intuition speaking. That's your inner guidance going, yes, that one. Well, that doesn't seem right. Oh, well, that must be it.
Yeah. And for me, what I'm starting to find too is my mind will jump to one thing first, like instantly it'll go, oh, it's got to be that.
Yeah.
The fact that I said it's got to be that tells me that actually it probably isn't that,
So the intellect or the ego, it speaks first and it speaks loudest. And whereas the real self, it's patient. It's got forever. It's an infinite being. You're an infinite being. You're a child of God, whatever you want to call it. it just sits there and goes, yeah, I'll just keep saying, yeah. Oh, really? Now you're going to listen to me? Eh? Oh, now you're going to listen to me. It's just like, I've been telling you all along. It's like, but it's that real subtle voice. Perfect. This is why you've got to sit still. This is why when you're in this indecisive moment, don't make a decision. Go, okay, I'm just going to sit still. I'm just going to not make a decision now, today or this week or this hour, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that, put that one on the fucking side burner. And when I feel relaxed, when I feel focused, then I'll make a choice. And you can, usually when you do that, that hunch will jump straight in.
What a bounce back. I haven't even read it out yet. I was going to say, that's key, Gabby. I asked the universe for help and I'm getting answers. That just bounced back on me. Thanks for that.
So one of the things with asking every question we're asked, the superconscious, God, whatever you want to call it, it answers every question that we ask instantaneously. But it answers it energetically. It answers it with a feeling or an image that flashes through. And often it'll answer before we ask the question. And people will often use this intuition. They'll go, so how can I, and just as they say how, the answer flashes through in a feeling or a thought, picture, and they finish the question and then they wait for an answer. And it's like, I didn't get an answer. I haven't got an answer. So the answer often comes before you actually can formulate the question into words. So you've got to be aware that once you have this as a default, the answer comes instantaneously. I may not be able to interpret it. I've got the answer. So whenever I ask a question, my automatic is, I got the answer. I already got the answer. Maybe I can interpret it. Maybe I can't. I got it in feeling. Maybe I got it in a flash of an image that I didn't see. But I know that every question that I ask, it comes through. The answer comes instantaneously. The question and answer are almost at the same time. If not, the answer comes just before the question.
And that's where our tool, Check In With Your Inner Guru, comes in, right, Gabby? Like, but the ego challenges it. Yeah. Well, then you need to become aware of that. And if you are, which it seems like you do at times, then check in on that and just go, hang on a sec. Was that an ego, or was that the ego that just answered that?
So that's fine. The ego, let the ego challenge it. Yeah. That's what we just said before to other people. Ask for another sign.
Yeah.
Because the universe will give you another sign.
Yep.
It's okay.
If
that's true, give me a sign. And then you'll turn on the radio and some words will come on in a song, or you'll fucking drive past a billboard
or you walk past some little kid having a conversation with their parent, and you'll just like hear 4 or 5 words that just ring out amongst the noise.
If you want to hear messages all day long, when you're walking down the street, especially if you're in a busy city like this, just listen to all the conversation. Just pay attention to the words you hear in conversations. There's your messages.
It's mad.
Constantly. You can have the universe talking to you non-freaking stop.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you hear one word or one sentence out of somebody else's conversation, that's the answer to what you were just feeling just a moment ago. It's instantaneous. It's insane how fast.
Stop trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Stop trying to figure out how, Gabby.
What it is you're trying to second guess it. Usually you get an answer and then you're trying to prove that it's wrong or right. You've got the answer.
No, that can't be the answer. Give me another sign. I don't want that answer. Give me another answer. Give me another sign. No, that can't be the fucking answer.
Give me another sign. I don't like that answer.
Hey, me and Copa. I've done it too. Don't worry.
We do it. We do this all the time. We get the answers, and then, but just know this is the you've got to get to this knowing point that answers are always there instantaneously. So if you have a feeling, like we pay so much attention to it, especially on our morning walks up here. It's like we just go, we hear one part of someone's conversation. You'll hear some part of someone's conversation over there, and we just go, "What was I just feeling then?" Oh, that was the answer to that.
Was the answer to that. Honestly,
why did I just hear that one? There's like fucking 10 conversations going around. There's all these people. Why did I hear that one?
Yep.
There's a reason you heard it. That's the answer to your questions. And the questions are coming up without it. And I'm not talking thought questions. I'm talking feeling questions, emotion questions. These are feelings. I'm having a feeling, I'm frustrated. Yeah, well, you're lazy. It's like you'll hear some guy on the phone talking to his missus go, yeah, that's because you're lazy. And it's like, what? Oh.
We were walking behind this amazingly beautiful autistic kid the other day, right on the bridge crossing the river. And I had this fucking feminine blockage thing going on. And then I'm like, what is that? What is that? And he was a boy, right? And it was this, I just kept hearing this girl's voice coming out of this boy's mouth. And I was picking up on some of the words. And then I started listening. I was like, fuck, universe is talking to me through this kid, right? And so I'm like, I've got to go higher and clear this and do this. And I was just following the prompts. And all it was words coming out of this kid's mouth.
This kid was.
And then John started picking up words, and I started picking up words, and he followed us for like, I don't know, a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And we cleared so much shit.
About 10 minutes. This kid was one of those special people that, they just say random things out loud. And because there's a lot of them down here on the river, they take it out for walks and that. So we get them nearly every morning, and they're just the ultimate messages of God, I say.
Yeah.
And this kid followed us like with his dad or whoever it was. His voice changed. Every feeling that came up, every question that we had that we didn't even know were questions, he was just nailing it. Then he just went after we received all of that, like 10 answers each to 10 different things.
Yeah.
He just went silent.
And we turned around. Thanks, bro. And he's just darted off after someone else. He's like,
started talking to his dad. He was following us, just answering every feeling that popped up in our heads.
Thank you for that. That was so mad.
It was so funny. It's like,
so yeah, go for a walk.
Because we're both doing it together, it's so easy for us to see it and confirm it. Because I'm like, what were you just feeling? Then he goes, I was getting, that's the, I said, he goes, that girl. I said, it's not a girl, it's a boy, it's a guy. So, but it was a very feminine voice that was coming out at the time. Yeah. And it's, and it is, it's so much fun.
I swear, try it. Go for a walk in a shopping center.
If you hear something, you hear someone on the phone say, hey, she's fucking using you or something.
Whatever it is, right?
Whatever these random things is you hear.
You think they're random sayings that catch your ear. They're not fucking
They're an
random.
answer to what you were just thinking or feeling nearly all the time.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big part of the synchronicity.
It is.
It's like, so, and it'll tell you again and again. So if you get these things and you're doubting it, Gabby, just go, okay, I'll accept that, but I'm not going to accept it until I get more. Give me another sign, give me another confirmation.
Yeah.
Give me 2 more signs or 2 more confirmations. I'll accept it, but I want more confirmation.
I know I'm stubborn, but please give me another confirmation.
Yeah. So, because the intuition, the universe, the God within will always confirm again and again the intuitions. So yeah, we're just about to wrap it up, guys.
So we were looking for anyone that would like to be a part of BQuest.
Yes.
In exchange for us working with you, teaching you the tools and so on and so on. Someone with marketing skills or branding skills or promoting
someone
skills.
who can help us promote ourselves because we're shit at
it. We're asking the universe right now. We're not shit at it, but we've been guided to ask for some help.
For another person to join BQuest.
Come on.
So at first they'll be getting paid through doing the tools and stuff.
Yep.
And then as they help us generate more classes and more students and stuff, then they'll be getting paid cash on top of that. So you'll generate your own pay basically by helping us market our stuff and promoting and marketing.
Don't need to be in Melbourne. Would be a positive if you're in Melbourne, but don't need to be in Melbourne. If that's something that resonates with you, drop us a message on our Facebook page.
We'll check in with our guru.
Check in with your inner guru. We'll check in with our inner guru.
And so we'll all check in together. So yeah, just drop us a personal message. Anyone wants readings, we do the 2-on-1 readings live on Zoom. It's $300 for an hour for the 2 of us, or $150 for half an hour. We can really get through some big issues. We've got some examples on our Facebook BQuest page. All the links are up there on the top, guys, for our YouTube, Facebook.
We got meetup. We got meetup groups going on in Sydney. Sydney. Fuck, we did.
Okay.
What was that? In Melbourne. Shit.
Basketball.
Possibly 2 this week. So get on the link up there for meetup and check out our groups. I think that's about it really for me this week.
And enjoy JOMO.
Enjoy JOMO.
Get rid of FOMO and enjoy JOMO.
Remember, if you can't make a decision, don't make a fucking decision. Just hold.
Have the joy of missing out. The joy of
courage to do
still.
nothing. Have the courage to do nothing.
Sit still and wait.
Yeah.
Once everything's cleared, once you feel calm, then the flash will come through, the hunch will come through, and make your decision then.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Lovely. See you next week.
See you later.
Bye.